G'day, everybody. Just thought I'd pop in and invite you all to be a part of Bells at Home this evening. We're beginning a great new series. I'm just home from praying down at the beach with, there were 4 of us there. We just gathered to pray for our children, basically, our grandchildren, our families. And it was a really good time. And it struck me that it had a bit to do with what we're starting to talk about this evening for the next few weeks. Gathering where we can, when we can, spending some time in prayer, getting outside the routine of kind of what we've always done. Because one of the things that we're going, well, the title of our next series is It's Time to Get Out of the Boat. It's based on a book by John Ortberg. If you want to walk on water, you've got to get out of the boat. Let me show you something, if I can bring this up into the stream pretty easily there. That is what's called Peter's boat, and we'll refer to it this evening. It's in a museum in Israel. It's right beside Lake Galilee, next door pretty much to a kibbutz where some of us stayed, a couple of years ago now. That's all that's left of Peter's boat. It's a boat a lot like Peter would have built for himself. You know, Peter and Buzz Aldrin have a bit in common. Come back to that. Buzz was, one of the first 2 astronauts to walk on the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. There you go. See, in this story that I think we've often heard before, and I encourage you, look it up when you got a minute today, when you're making a sandwich at lunch or whatever. Jesus comes walking on the water and invites Peter to get out of the boat and to walk with him on the water. And it's a counterintuitive thing. It makes no sense at all. If there is a strong wind blowing, if there is a storm getting around, even if you want to get somewhere, surely you're better off in the boat. And yet, against all that way of thinking, Peter knows, and the others don't, that he'd be better off out of the boat. Why is that? Well, the bottom line is, whatever else is going on, whatever, you are going to be better off close to Jesus. It may not make a lot of sense at the time. It may be one of those things where you go, really? Whatever is going on, we will be better off close to Jesus, even if that means we have to get out of the boat. Why is that? Well, I think it's going to change us in many, many ways. And these are some of the things that I hope we'll get to consider over the next 6 weeks, whether we be together at the meeting place or Bells at Home online. You see, when we decide to step out of the boat and get close to Jesus, we will learn a bunch of things, including what it is to recognize his voice above all the other noise that's going on. How will we know it's him calling to us? We should learn to ask better questions, ask the right questions before we make some decisions. We will learn what it is to fail and what can be the outcomes of that. We will learn what it is to be the one who says, I'm going to give it a crack, even when everybody else, and even the people who know us best and love us dearly, are not going to go in that same direction. These are some of the things that will be ours when we make the choice to get closer to Jesus, no matter what that looks like. Here's the thing, though, and it's the thing I'd like us to consider even beginning in this very first week. What are the boats that we need to think about getting out of? What's your boat? What's my boat as an individual? And what's our boat as a church? Now, here's a thought for you to consider. The boat that we're talking about that night is probably a boat that Peter built himself. What do we build our boats out of? Even when we've carefully constructed this ourselves. And I don't know, Jesus being a chippy, having spent quite a bit of time fishing with the fellas, I reckon it's even a boat that Jesus has helped to work on. But there comes a time where the things that we have constructed for ourselves, or actually being close to Jesus, Even the things that look a lot like Jesus is involved in them, if the choice is that or actually being close to Jesus and walking with him, there's the choice. And I wonder if at the end of his life, when he looked back, Peter was a lot like Buzz Aldrin. If in his old age he looked back and he thought, you know, there are only two of us. Only two of us ever did that. And I was one of them. Will you join us this evening at 5:30? Gather some folks at your place. There's still plenty of time to get a lasagna from Woolworths or whatever. Invite people around and let's share this time together, and then maybe spend some time in prayer and a meal afterwards. It'd be good to catch up with you. See you at 5:30 on this channel and on YouTube if you prefer that. Every blessing. We'll see you this evening. Bye for now.